Well, welcome along to Hong Kong Direct. A very special guest joins me in the studio for this week's edition. It is, of course, Alexis Badel. More from him very shortly. But before we hear from the Derby winning jockey, let's have a look back at the highlights from last weekend.
Void Bubble's going a huge race. Sword Point can't get through. Beauty Eternal leads. Void Bubble Tuchel's up the rail. Keefe, Voyage Bubble, the classic mile winner from 14, and Tuchel on the rail. Voyage Bubble, Voyage Bubble. What a win in the Derby. Voyage Bubble has won a magnificent Derby finish for Alexis Badel.
Well, what a great meeting it was, and one man that certainly enjoyed it has joined me here in the studio. Alexis Badel, many thanks for coming in to chat to us. I imagine you enjoyed looking back on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm very, very pleased.
A huge day, Alexis, obviously a huge race, always winning the Derby here in Hong Kong. I mean, can you still quite believe that you won it on Voyage Bubble? I mean, coming into the race, there were certainly those that were sceptical, but it was a huge win in the end.
Yeah, it was very, very amazing, really amazing. I believe it now, but I must say it was just too much at the same time, too much emotions. It took me a bit of time to really appreciate and relax and come back down to earth. It was very, very impressive on the line.
But why was that, Alexis? I mean, obviously you've won a lot of big races. I mean, Wellington has won you many big races. You've won many big races in France. But what was it that made the Derby so special?
I think because I wasn't prepared, and it was so brutal because of different factors. The fact that we had a bad gate, and the fact that I was on a quality horse, but I was on an outsider. So from my position in the field, from the pace, from the way the race happened, I didn't expect that result.
Yeah, I think many didn't expect as well. We can have a look back at that brutal race as you described. Now, you're drawn 14 here, Alexis. Going into the race, it was well enough documented that there was going to be a change of tactics. Was this the first time you've ever sat on the horse? Had you ridden him in a gallop, or was this the first time?
I galloped him once.
Okay.
It was an easy work, and the horse seems to be pretty smart, pretty clever, and also very very easy to ride. He was great.
What did you think at this stage? Now, you've taken that first turn, you're absolute last. What was going through your mind now as the race was playing out?
Obviously, everybody was expecting me to lead the race, so as I deliberately had a slow start to save the ground, there was no leader in the race, no more leader. So everybody was trying to control the pace as much as they could. And my first action was try to relax my horse, save the ground, and I had to drop it back to the last position for that. And after, the pace was so slow, my horse was relaxed, was happy to go a little bit for me, and I had no hesitation to improve my position, because from where I was, you cannot win the race.
No, indeed. You must have always been confident at this stage, Alexis. Now, you're basically upsides the favourite, Beauty Eternal. You know you're on a classic mile winner, so you've got the classy horse underneath you. It's just the stamina. Were you always getting the feeling from this horse that he was going to see it out strongly?
I was very confident at the turn, like I would say around the 600, 700, because he was responding very well underneath me. So I felt like every time I was giving my horse a little bit of pressure, he was ready to respond, ready to fight back. I knew he had some qualities, so I was very confident. I wasn't sure about how was going Beauty Eternal compared to me, because he had such a smooth run in a good position, and we end up in the same spot, like around the 500. So I wasn't sure how I was going compared to him. But then my horse was perfect. He was amazing.
He certainly was. Winning a Derby is obviously one thing. The next step, I guess, is also very important to this horse's future and his career. Champions Day looming large, a day that you've been a part of obviously for many seasons since. He goes to Champions Day, taking on the big boys. It's not going to be easy for him, but I guess if you don't try, you don't know, do you?
No, and he's a Derby winner, so you have to step up to another challenge. You can't come back.
No.
You can't go backward right now. You need to keep up. I believe he's a tough horse. He's a great horse. Maybe he will improve after that because he showed that he could be ridden with more patience. So that means you don't have to lead. You don't have to do anything special. You just probably adapt to different tempos and tactics, which is pretty good.
It certainly is. It's a great trait to have. Talking of being patient, that leads me on quite nicely to your season, Alexis. Now, you've had to be patient. There obviously was a nasty fall towards the end of November for you. You missed 49 days of the season. Now, to some people, 49 days is not a long time, but to a jockey, I imagine it can feel like a lifetime. Your stats here on screen, I mean, it's probably not quite going to be the season of last, but are you happy enough with the way things have gone, albeit the ups and downs so far?
I think I'm happy. I think I'm happy. It's not easy, you know. Hong Kong is a tough place. You don't have to do many mistakes to lose support or to lose your ranking in the championship. And so coming back from injury is always difficult. It was quite severe, and luckily by the way, I had a very good team of people that really looked after me, and that was amazing. The Jockey Club really helped me to recover as quick as possible. And that being said, it costs you a lot of in terms of momentum and support. You know, you need to build up back your confidence. You need to maintain your fitness again. It's quite tough. So I think it's a good achievement after that.
The momentum is continuing. You've ridden winners at the last 4 meetings, Alexis. You're in the top 10. What is the aim now looking towards the end of the season? We're up to sort of well beyond halfway as far as meetings are concerned here in Hong Kong. What are you aiming for towards the end of the season?
I need to maintain a good rhythm like this. I think one win every race meeting is an absolute dream. More than that would be bonus. But I think one win every race meeting, if it's possible, somewhere like that, it's a very good rhythm, I would say. Stay out of the trouble, no suspensions, no incident, hopefully, touch wood, and that's it.
I imagine with obviously a number of big races still to come. We mentioned Champions Day, but obviously there are some very big races around those. You were very successful in group races last season. I imagine you'd certainly like to build on that still. Yeah.
Obviously, like Hong Kong is a place where you want to survive at the very beginning because you have no guarantee that you're going to be successful in Hong Kong as an overseas jockey. Like, we know it's very difficult. It takes a lot. And but when you adapt to Hong Kong, obviously you want to step up to quality races. And I'm very happy. I'm very grateful for the quality of horses I've been riding, and I hope I can deliver as many as possible in the big races.
Talking of numbers, 9 rides this Sunday. We'll take a look at your rides now. You've got your old pal Fighting Star in the first. That's a nice enough book of rides. I was looking towards the end of the card there, Alexis. A couple of chances. Jumbo Legend, perhaps one, going to Sha Tin for the first time. Absolutely.
I don't know this horse, but I know his form. I know he's got a good record, very consistency. And it's interesting to see how he's going to be in Sha Tin. But I believe he's a top form horse, and he should run a good race.
I thought Mark the Moment looked like he might be a nice ride as well. He's shown some pretty nice form so far in Hong Kong.
Yes, I agree. I think Pierre's stable is in good form. The horse has a good draw, and I got up the horse. He looks in good form and consistent. I think he should run a good race.
And obviously, I mentioned you've got 9 rides there. Is that sort of what any jockey, yourself obviously, would like to sort of be focusing on week in, week out? Is that volume? Because it just keeps you sharp, and it sort of keeps you on your A game, and you've got those volume of rides.
Yeah, absolutely. Like some jockeys doesn't have the chance to be fully booked, so it's always good to have a good number of rides, obviously. And but you want also quality rides. over the quantity, I would say. So I think the most important is to show that you fit, you're doing well, you give your horses every chances, and then you get more control over your riding books. And I think that's the main goal.
And I guess the support as well, because there are a number of trainers that you're riding for this weekend. That has obviously been a trait throughout, so the support is certainly still there, which is obviously a great thing.
Yeah, it's the main thing.
It certainly is. Well, Alexis, it's been great to chat to you, notably about your Derby success, but also about what possibly lies ahead, and hopefully those winners continue to come. Many thanks for joining us on Hong Kong Direct.
Thank you very much.
So 9 rides for Alexis on Sunday. Let's have a look at the diary and what's coming up in Hong Kong in the next few meetings. We're at Sha Tin on Sunday. We're at Sha Tin on Wednesday, the 29th of March, and we're back at Sha Tin on Sunday, the 2nd of April. That is just about all we've got time for on this week's edition of Hong Kong Direct. Hope you've enjoyed listening to Alexis as much as I've enjoyed chatting to him. Many thanks for watching, and goodbye.